waving crazily at Susan. All right, let's see if I can get it to play. You got any noise? There we go.
Beat your wings against the wall. I don't blame your broken heart for trying. Find your flight inside the fall. Find your edges as you lean in. Beat your heart into a drum. Dive into this very change that's calling. Find the rhythm of your soul. Let it move you to your living. Let it move you to your living. Beat your wings against the wall. I don't blame your broken heart for trying. Find your flight inside the fall. Find your edges as you lean in.
Well, that was kind of short. Cute, sort of cute. All right. So that was Sovereign Kin. That it was shared. That one was called Wings by Aylin Nerio. There we go. All right. Yay. So let's do some checking in today. Now I think we got almost everybody. Anybody want to start?
I do, because I just bought my ticket last night to actually go to see a Lanario with Starling Arrow in California in November. And I'm going as a +1 to my client, who is now working for Tina Malia, who's part of Starling Arrow, and we get to go backstage. And I'm hoping to pitch the Lilith Fair idea to them and have them out here. So yeah, I'm like, holy shit. And then I just was chatting with Adam because I did a podcast with him on Monday, and he's going to do the Alan Stone this weekend. So I was like, hey, dude, throw our name out there. So really hoping to work on our concert series this next summer and get that really going.
So sounds like that's really growing.
Well, it's a spark right now. We'll see what happens. There's a lot of other things growing, but that was hearing her voice as I've been listening to them a lot over the last few days, just getting really excited. I was excited to share that with all of you.
And it's called The Spark, wasn't it?
Oh, was it?
I think the name of the album is The Spark. So
Slightly relative.
yes, go. Well planned. All right. Wonderful. And the vision I saw instead of drawing a picture was an actual thing from the past. So I will just share that one. Anyone else want to share? Or are you done? Was that your full check-in? Everybody's had some pretty big changes. Anybody want to check in?
I'll go. So I over the past couple of months have been in this really weird transformation state. Essentially, I'm bigger now energetically. I don't know how else to describe it. I'm taller. I walk differently. I feel differently. I'm connected differently. I'm bigger. And over the past couple of months, my entire body and system has had a really challenging transition going through the motions of adjusting to the new me. Um, right now I'm kind of settling in and it's interesting. I'm finding my way through foods and figuring out like I don't have much appetite a lot of the time, but when I do, I want really good things. I don't want any junk. I don't want sugar. I don't like I just my body my I'm craving the things that are good for my body. Like my body is telling me all the things. The last edge of this difficult transition is I feel like my energy now no longer fits with some of the old junk that still hasn't been cleared. And so I'm really, really touchy and I'm really edgy. And um, so I feel like really great. And I'm also super emotional and I could get like super cranky over nothing. And so just kind of allowing all of that to kind of bubble up and over the surface and be acknowledged, and I'm like recognizing griefs that I never recognized and acknowledged before, and feeling them move through my voice and how they've been impacting my voice, and that's drawing me to just sing, like no words or anything, but I just randomly just start singing whatever. So I'm in this really wonderful, still challenging and confusing space. Super, super tired, super weepy. I had to quit work early today because I got really emotional on a team meeting over nothing. but but also really good. So that's me.
Oh, thank you. Really growing too.
Oh, and I am doing Reiki certification this weekend.
They are blessed to have you. All right. Anybody else? Linda's lighting up for me, but I don't know why. Love you.
Oh, I'm just tired. Oh, we just got back yesterday from the trip to Idaho, back to visit JT's family and community, and I'm being corrected, my family community. And it was wonderful. It was a memorial weekend for Charlie. And then I just worked around it. And we're also at the end of like big quarterly deadlines and all kinds of things falling on the only you can do this. And I have a little more work to do after this, but yeah, took a good break. My period started early and heavy, but like, and TMI, but like bright red, because I realized I've been like, my iron's been tanked and I had all these weird symptoms come up that have never come up with my anemia before, that I realized was like indications it was severely low. And Aubrey, you had gotten, I needed to take iron daily for a while, and it was right about the time you got that I started to notice these things. So I've been feeling a lot better with that, and some things have been clearing. I had a massive allergy attack out there like the first day we arrived, and like my whole face turned into this red rash. It's still like sandpaper. It's so crazy. It was like this hay fever thing. I think I got something in my eye because it first hit my eyes, and the next day I was like sneezing so much. I'd never sneezed that many times in a day, and after that my whole face was just like inflamed. And so I'm going through this whole thing with like this red horrible rash around here that I'm like trying to cover up with makeup, but makeup hurt, but I'm doing all these social things. So it's like kind of chaotic, but it was also just, really good. And really special sharing things about Charlie with everybody. And his wife came up to me because I felt like I was the one there who knew him the shortest amount of time. But he's the one that was like captain sailing, you know, oh, captain, my captain. And the one that hit me hard, I've talked about a few times. And his wife came up to me 2 different times and just out of the blue was like, he thought the world of you and he talked about you. And it was just that, like, oh, you know, it was that kind of moment I needed amid all of that. And it was just beautiful. And I got to help out and got to, you know, help JT's parents out a lot and bond with them more. And it was good. And but I'm just like that day 2, heavy bleed, tired, but good. So if I seem kind of half in right now, it's yeah. So that, and then just teeing things up to aim to find then have the next right thing come in like February. So I just have to get through, you know, we all kind of have this sense of, you know, spidey sense of disturbance in the force. Like Monday's probably going to be hard. There's probably going to be another round of layoffs the way things are going. And so it's just like sitting in the, you know, not taking all of that on, being amid it all for this next quarter and, you know, setting myself up to move on and feeling better with all that. So, yeah. Good to see you all.
Awesome. And my dog is going insane. Seem terribly beautifully grounded in all of that. In a good way. All right. Anybody feeling it?
I'll share. First, I want to share that I'm still doing my power-ups every day with all of you. And I just love you so much. And I just feel so connected. I couldn't wait, even though I was late. I couldn't wait to see you all. So thank you for just being my sisters in Power Up. And you're badasses. And I just love you so much. So know that I think about you. That's how I start my day. The other thing is I had COVID again, and and it actually I moved through it pretty quickly, which is amazing. And so with COVID and coming back from Utah and just being out in nature and enjoying that, and I was quarantined, so I had a lot of time to listen to some channeled messages. Listening to Bashar and Communion of Light and Abraham Hicks when I want to feel really good. And not that the others don't, but you know, Abraham's just so happy. And anyway, for whatever reason, I feel really good. I just feel really good. And I'm like, am I manic? Is this manic? Because I'm really happy. And I, you know, I worked today and I felt my energy go, and I'm like, okay, I'm just observing. And then I just kind of shake it off and bring myself back to like, this stuff doesn't matter. And just keeping a perspective and kind of like Jess, how you shared, it's just bigger and different. And it feels kind of like I'm going there too, or at least I'm open to doing it differently, which feels really good. So I'm enjoying it. That's my update.
Doctoring of manic is waking up naked on a pizza box. That's
Okay.
manic.
I'm not doing that.
That's manic. More than 4 sexual partners in one moment.
Okay, good. I'm not manic. And I
You
did.
might just be happy. Well, unless it's consensual and happy. I don't mean that. Yeah. You have to remember them. You can have as many as you want as long as everybody's aware of what they're doing.
I had
I almost just snorted tea on my nose. Sorry, I just had to say that.
I also got like out of the blue. I really wanted to go. But I got free tickets to see Sting last night, and I saw Sting from the suite at Climb and Pledge, and it was fucking awesome. So it was like quarantine ended Tuesday. When last night I got to go see Sting, so it was
Awesome. Probably a really good concert.
really good.
Thank you. You're shiny.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, was that you look very good.
Thank you.
You look so beautiful. I love you so much.
I love you too. It's so good to have you on the call too.
I know I missed all of you guys. I feel like I could cry.
You can.
You can.
We all are.
I do it like 5 times a day.
Oh, it's so good to see everybody. Yeah. I think I'm feeling all the things. I think I'm feeling emotional because you pulled my heartstrings in talking about power up, because I did my own power up, knowing, just like thinking of Dr. Aubrey kind of leading it and like, okay, this, but I wasn't listening to a recording, but it was like powering up and connecting with you all and just feeling, just a reconnection. I got to try to figure out my events next quarter and try not to make them on Thursdays. But yeah, I think overall good, everything's good. But just definitely been feeling pulled in a lot of different directions the last few weeks. That whole end of August into September really rocked my little mental, emotional world, and was just a lot. And not that I wasn't like handling it or grounded or okay in it. It just was like very heady for me, a lot of head stuff and some emotional stuff and some old ancestral stuff, and just to make it fun. So yeah, it felt like a lot the last few weeks, and I'm literally just starting to come out of it and feel like, okay, I'm making some decisions, I'm being decisive, I'm getting out of the fog of in my head and in the clarity. But it just feels like I'm in a shift. I think I'm going to be doing this for a while. Check back in 10 years. I don't know. I think maybe we all will, but it just feels like another shift of kind of, and mostly business, but then that also requires, it's like asking me to shift things in personal life, and I'm like, it just always feels a little like a rub to me. And I want it to feel like I'm ready to just step into it instead of resistance in any way. So just moving through that, like creating bigness, and then not, it's not that I would say I'm shrinking down, but it's like create, and then I'm like, oh, back off. Give me a minute. And then I'm like, where is it? Where is it? When's it going to happen? And then it's like happening. And I'm like, slow down. I'm exhausted. So,
That was awesome. Oh no.
Well, she slowed down.
She did. She slowed down right after using that. Yes. There, we got you back. That was kind of cool. You're like, slow down, and then your whole thing went.
Cute,
Cool.
cute. I was just saying, sending love to everybody and glad to see your faces, and sending some extra pink waves of love to Alex. I don't know how you're doing over this, but I hear that we're sending you some energy. So I've already started.
Oh. I miss it.
Thank you.
She's
It's nice.
Oh,
Thank
oh.
you.
I have a plan to do a group healing here, but we're gonna have to check in. If you still give us permission. You want to check in?
Sure. Yeah, I'm just having a rough week. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I think I have to like completely like my body is just really hurting and I've been, I don't know, doing too many things and now I'm doing nothing because I can't do anything. Like I just need to kind of lay down and rest. And so I'm just I'm really um I don't know. I'm I'm on a I'm making my way to a different place, but it's like very painful and with a lot of grief, like 20 years of grief or something. And I like chose this, like I wanted to do that. I did this healing kind of process that was Christine recommended and I think it's working, but it's because I felt really stuck before. But I'm also like, it's like, it's a lot.
Did you
And
reach
I,
out? Did you reach
what?
out? Did you reach out to Amaya? Okay.
I did, yeah. And I think like, you know, it's, I think that it's interesting because I've been noticing just the difference between like, when Jessica was talking too, it's like, it's like you can want something in your head and like talk it through and like see yourself making changes and then like your body is like in a different place kind of where it's like it's not like ready to let go of stuff and so I feel like that's really irritating to me because I'm like finally like yes okay I'm ready to let go of this and then like this is just hard and I think it's like I see all these things I know are changing. I actually know they're changing and they're good things to change but they're also like just feel like I'm like starting again and I have to like not starting again but I have to like be a different place with my my ego and just like rest and those are not things that are particularly easy for me to do so yeah kind of where I'm at the end and I should make some art but I can't seem to do that and so I'm just being a little weird and dramatic
Don't think dramatic.
so
Yes. Is it okay if we do a healing after our check-in?
yeah
I feel like I'm just supposed to show the picture that I was supposed to share right now. Basic. That's not real complicated, but there it is. That's the one. That's the picture for today. So maybe we're coming out. Maybe usually the butterfly wing is out already, and that's the left wing, so the feminine side. After the transformation has occurred, but as you're trying to learn how to fly. That one looks like it has a bunch of evil eyes. I don't know. Maybe we need that too. I don't know. It struck me. Anybody else want to add
I
anything?
felt like it was like tadpoles and like sperm and like it's
Oh.
going to the seed.
Totally.
Yeah.
and fish
Yeah.
and snakes
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um,
The green of the wing looks very watery to me.
yeah. That should be the superpower color of green. And it shows these are ones I drew years ago, but that one generally also overlays with the hummingbird. Well, that's significant either to anybody. Hummingbird significant to anybody this week?
Not this week, but to me in general, it's one of my companions. Yes.
What Linda said.
Yeah. Represents my joy.
Oh. Oh, she's not jumping out, so I'm not sure I can do it. Where are you, hummingbird? I loaned Melanie Melanie was looking at my pictures to make cards out of them, and now they all smell wonderful. They all smell like incense. So these two go together. You have kind of
Oh, wow.
a humming butterfly. I don't know. Anyway, there's those two.
I love that. And I saw several butterflies when I was out in Idaho, and I don't normally see a lot of them in Seattle, so it was really lovely. They always just flew around and paused in front of me, so I like that.
I feel like that's unusual for this time of year. Like it's starting to cool down quite a bit, and especially in Idaho. I know if it's as cold as it is here, it's colder in Idaho. That's kind of crazy. Kind of fun.
Yeah, it was really cold at night, like nearing freezing, but beautiful sunny days during the day. So I feel like I was gone for way longer because I came back and all of a sudden it's gray and rainy. I'm like, what happened to summer? Yeah.
That happened for us too. Just really fast. All right. Christine, do you feel like checking in, love?
Sure. I can, let's see. I'm in my new place in West Seattle. I haven't figured out lighting, obviously. And yeah, like most of us, ups and downs. I think I overrode my accident quite a bit to get into the house. And then last week I hit a wall that I couldn't get over. And then I saw Aubrey on Monday, and then I felt awesome for 2 days and did too much. And now I'm tired again. So it's like, okay, let's, find the, and I think all of us, what Alex, you had mentioned, it's just, we're not used to just being still when there's things to do around us. And it's, I think maybe we're all getting a little bit of that lesson of how to do that and life at the same time. But I'm about 85% settled. I keep getting, I have things all lined up to get settled, and then it all changes. And I'm just like, okay, we get to sit with that again. How long can I live here and not feel completely settled and be comfortable? So, yeah. But I have an amazing landlady, and Seattle's a lot busier. And so I'm feeling more motivated to do life again. So that part is very good for me. So I'm glad I moved down here.
All right. I suppose I need to check in. I am transitioning a lot, and currently inside and business are transitioning a lot. I just got back from Kansas, and I was supposed to go to work on my illustrations for my book, but kind of changed gears and didn't, because the book editing went so intensely. We created in 4 days, Christina and Julia and I created a complete card deck. So I have a draft, at least, of the cards I will be publishing, and I'm probably just going to do them as a kind of like a print as you go sort of dealy. I just have to sit down on the printer because I don't think I'm going to order 100 decks. I don't think I'm going to sell 100 decks this week. So I thought I would introduce them that way. I still need to write the book for them, so that might be a little bit longer, or I'm just going to do a pamphlet, so it's not going to take too long. But those are exciting. That was exciting for me.
Could you do potentially do like a pre-order so that you get an idea of how many, and have little samples and stuff, and then you could do an order too? That might work as a way to fund the larger order, so you're not having to do the time-consuming thing of one at a time. Just an idea.
That would be brilliant. Thank you. and I will, that's a great idea, and may put that through my site. I think with the smaller orders, the smallest order is like 25, and I think if you only order that many, the deck's gonna be like $23. So, yeah, and that's gonna cost me $23. So I'd have to, upcharge it to 28 or 30 or something. So
Or 33 or 34 or something.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. So many words. I'm like, wait, no. Okay. I mean, so as I have a retail shop, and first of all, I would buy 5 decks from you at wholesale price. And so so then it's like, yeah, like you have to figure out how much you want to make on each deck, but then like knowing that like getting it to distribute in other places. So really thinking about that price now, that's what it should cost everyone else now. And so your wholesale price because you're only going to make $5 a freaking deck. I mean, so you're going to make, and then you would try to, be like, hey, can you sell it? If you sell it on a place like, I get all my stuff from Fair. It's a wholesale website. They have, minimums that you have to buy in order to get that wholesale pricing. So there's that. But then they also require you to sell it at a certain price too, so that it holds that price integrity. So, this is one of the reasons I haven't bought a lot of decks, because they're so freaking expensive for you to invest in as a retailer, but then also as a seller. Because like you said, unless you're printing 500 decks or at least 100 decks, you can't get that price down enough to not sell it for $75, Yep. But at the same time, there are a lot of decks that are, up in that range. They don't move as fast, in like our shop, but
this is not a $75 deck. So, I don't know. It's a very beautiful. I love it. It's beautiful and simple.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like, for me, I would personally, like, if I wasn't in this group, I didn't know you, I was just still Dr. Aubrey's client. I know I'm taking up time to talk about but this is big. This is huge. Like, this is freaking huge. We're all here supporting you, wanting you to do like amazing freaking things. So if I was your client and you had a deck that was, an extension of the body map, the power up, your whole system, I would personally be willing to pay more. I'm not going to pay $30 for your deck. Like, I'm paying that for some rando on Amazon. But like, for the people that I really love and follow, like, I'll pay that for a deck and I'll use it every damn day for years. So that's my 2 cents. Okay.
I will listen to anyone that wants to guide at all on pricing and read you guys through these things, but I can also give you a sampler if you want to see them. Yeah, see if I can open them. Did that work?
So freaking proud of you, though. What an accomplishment.
I will just shout out to Christina, man. She sat down with me and I didn't think, I'm like, oh, this is not going to really work. And she just did it with me. And so she did the whole thing, and we did the whole thing in like 3 days. So I don't know where they went. Maybe I can't share them. If you want me to share them, let me open them, please. Come on, computer. There it is. Draft cards.
Technology's been poo-pooey. I've talked to and been part of kind of several of those deals, one of them being the Vulva Gallery. And she, I think, started a Kickstarter. And then there's a woman that I just met with that's a handpan musician, and she is launching a new album, and she's also doing it through Kickstarter. And similar to kind of what Hannah was saying, but there are definitely ways like doing the pre-orders. Tracy Stanley is one of my favorite teachers, and she just did a pre-sale for her new book that's coming out. So I think a lot of people that are producing those types of items, especially around the mindfulness world, that is the way that it's happening. And so let your immediate network of web be the people that start to like share and help spread the word about being able to do pre-orders, or especially like Hannah said, there's a lot of people that I think this is happening more and more now, especially as like people in the world are starting to really like put their money where their mouth is and vote with their investments. Like they want to spend more money on those things to support those people, to keep them producing the things that they greatly value. So,
Well, I am open to however these go. So I don't know how to share them. How do I do this? So let's see. They're opening at one at a time. So I don't know what you can see. There's the power up. Can you see that one? So the power up card, and then we're not done with the lotus on top, but they're really basic cards. They're supposed to be color therapy, and the power up is the one for doing the power up. And then maybe I can share the whole desktop. Can I do that? There we go. So can you see the desktop?
Yep.
There's power up. This is button up. So then that's close them all down, lock it down. And then each color is going to be the right size for you to put your glass of water on, so that you can program your day with that particular color frequency. So if you need unconditional,
Oh my God.
surrender to grace, I've got all of my colors on each one, so that we can have people pick them for their mood, and then put their frequency into their water as a homeopathic and use it to ship them in the day. Or you can just look at it and use the color. I have all the directions, so there'll be one direction for each if they need a direction. We've got a lot of colors. And then we have the elements. So there are elements: the fire, water, earth, ether. There's a black and white for a polarity. Each of these has one of the platonic solids on it, so that those can be utilized. Then we have, there are 8 shapes. I don't know. We have all of the 4 or 5 sided. So these are for the get in shape, right? So if you need to create a field around yourself for protection or for upliftment or whatever, those cards are the ones that you can use to use that tool. There's an in and out cards. Let's see, there's in. So that's focusing inside of the field, and there's an out if you need to put your attention. These would be more like, this isn't you. Clear the outside of your field. This is you. Clear the inside of your field. So they're really simple. They're simple, beautiful. I think she did a beautiful job with them, frankly. And we had a lot of fun with them. So that's what they look like on that side. And then where's the back? Ooh, ooh, ooh. There's a Merkaba card, of course, because I can't not do that. And where's the back? That's the most exciting part. There it is. That's what they look like on the back. So, and then I need to finish out. We just need to do a little bit of editing on our globe and get it done. So that's the deck. Woo! Woo! It should have 50 cards, and probably it will have just a fold out, and then there they are. That's what I'm excited about. Also, my best friend from like when I was in the 7th and 8th grade until now. So we've been friends for 30 years or whatever. She was my best friend in high school, right? But she is a photographer, and she showed me she did an entire design and basically integration of her dad's book, and she's the one. So she's the right person for me. I'm going to make my book into mini books, and they're going to be probably ebooks first, and then they are soft bound, and we're going to integrate the pictures into them almost like a picture book. So that's a process. It's probably going to take a minute, but those are the exciting things right now. So that's,
yeah. But isn't this like a 50? It's not like your standard Oracle decks. Those are life tools. Isn't that like a $50 box of deliciousness? That's not a $25 anything. That's amazing.
All right, well, I'll listen because I am usually not good at charging very well.
I mean,
Not good at
Hannah,
pricing.
what,
I will listen. to
5.5 instead of 5.0? Yeah.
Ooh.
That's what I heard too. I heard 5.5, and then if you're doing a fold out, then explaining all of the different aspects that are influencing it so that they actually understand the value of the colors and the shapes and the different influences that are being offered.
I thought very strongly about just doing a QR code, and then I will explain it on my website, each section with a video on what it means and how to do it, or go to the Power Up or whatever, so that it would drive people also to the website and they could get a longer explanation. It'll have a little one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and actually I can thank Awa for this from years ago. The Muse one, her deck is beautiful, and I've given, I think, some of you a few of her decks. So you can go to her website. I don't think she has a QR code in here, but with each of her cards, or a lot of them, she has like music and more information and all of this on the website. So yeah, absolutely. You can do a little bit. And I love that idea of go here for more, because like you said, it draws them to the site. I love that. That's awesome. And yes, I would absolutely pay more for that, no matter, who it came from, with tools like that, and especially being you. So echoing all of that. I love that so much. I'm already so excited to get a copy.
But and really that's like, I mean, so for me, okay, I would pay 55 for the deck with a little pamphlet. It doesn't have to be in depth, but I know that I've sold a few decks that don't have a pamphlet to them, and people did not gravitate towards them because they just don't feel, even though I'm like, you can just reference tarot anywhere, you can get a book, it's easy, but people want it right there, and they don't want to have to get on their phone or a computer, because then you're not in it, right? But if there was also this like add-on that like you're like, you get more information, you can dive deeper, there might be a song. I mean, really, like we're talking about everything is shifting now to things that are experiential, right? All of my friends who are in marketing, all of the marketing is digital and experiential. And so this is something that's experiential. Like, again, I would get closer to 77 for that. I would pay 55 for just the deck and the pamphlet.
Yeah.
But if you're like, here, you also get to deep dive into this vast vault of information that has a little, I would easily pay 77. So just saying, I mean, the price, it's a very valuable tool.
That could be something that people could just pay the extra $22 once they get to your site.
Oh, I see.
Exactly what I was thinking, like add-on things.
Yeah, they have it in the Moonology journal too, which also I think there's links to go on like live calls with the creator. I think I got it like late, or there was one, maybe it wasn't the Moonology one. It was like one that was, oh, I know what it was. It was Araya Mountain Dreamer, actually. In a lot of her books, she has like different websites and resources, and they're so old now that they are no longer of use. But it was the Moonology one where she says in the, I think, end of some of her chapters, if you'd like to connect with our community live, visit this link, and then you have access to certain classes that she offers and things like that.
Awesome.
Yeah, in this Alana Fairchild one, it also says that's like it has the booklet in it, but then it's also got it says go here for like a gift pack or something else that's got a playlist and like a meditation,
Yeah.
a little bit more in depth, and yeah,
When I,
all that.
and I also, you can tie your sessions in as well in some way, whether that's, if you buy this deck, you can get 10% off your first session or something along those lines. So you can then guide them from the deck into, what that is, or, if you buy that extra, $22 thing, you get you know, I don't know. Or you can have like
Yeah.
the first 100 people who buy a deck get entered in for a free session. You know, you can do it in different ways, but also I would at some point wrap in the sessions too. So there's a natural
Lead.
aid. Mm-hmm.
And you could have links to some of your pre-recorded offerings, like, oh, here's a corresponding power up, and here's a corresponding this and that of some of the
Yep.
stuff you've already recorded, right?
Yep. Totally. She's got all that.
All right. So thank you, everyone. That's me right now. That's me excited right now. Feels like anything else the also just the feedback I'm getting from a lot of different places. I'm also being involved with a group out of California. Well, they're international, but the autonomic seminar it's called, and I'm learning different bases for polyvagal based on redoing the neurology in a new and old way, which is fucking geeking me out like an insanity. And then this group of people from all over the world is so much like me. I can't even believe it. Like, I don't know many people I just think that about very much, but these are all people that have like complete intuitive backgrounds and then like dove all the way into some form of science or something. And they just were like, I want to know everything about everything. And so it's just a beautiful group. So I'm very excited to also be there. I feel like that part's going. In my career is probably going that way a little bit, I hope. And that's the restorative practices people. And so that's exciting. So but what I keep hearing from every group I'm around is that what they need is what we do effortlessly in this group. They don't have a forum where they can be themselves. They don't feel safe to talk to each other, and they don't feel held, loved, connected. And I think what we have created here is precious as hell, and also is a circle, and also is how leadership works. And so if there's a way that we can, if there's a future way that we need to get together to feel, I think we could offer an example, and it may just be in our personal leading lives. Everybody's doing their thing, but if it isn't, maybe we could lead together and show people how females lead together because we do and we can. Yeah, something like that. So those are the big ones on my head. Jessica, you were just thinking that?
I was just same paging you.
Mhm.
So that's where I feel collective, and I keep coming back to the seeds, and they're anytime I'm like, oh, I need to build something cool, they're like seeds. So we might think about the seeds. Okay.
That was, yeah, like this whole week, there's just been this like, okay, but what are you, what can you share? What can you share? How can you share this, what you're doing? And so I love this idea because I was thinking, you know, back to like our original ideas of a retreat or something like that. But I was thinking like, what about just panel discussions? Like, you know, where it's just, and I don't know if it gets listed on the website as like, okay, so the offerings are, you know, these community like events like this, community meetings, something like that. Maybe that's a membership where it's like once a month or twice a month, you get to come meet with like-minded people and you go over a specific topic. You know, there's a theme for each talk or something. But then we could also have an offering of, you know, so yes, work with one of these people one-on-one if you want. But here's all of our superpowers. And here's the way that you could access them. You could access them through this, you know, kind of community meeting monthly. You could access it through one-on-one. You could access it through a panel discussion or a talk that comes to you. Like we come talk to your organization, your school, your therapy, you know, collective. and I love the idea of like what you're saying, Aubrey, is okay, but what, so we have all of these different things, but maybe the umbrella is just community, this
Or
something
modeling connection.
back to like our mission, and then doing it by modeling connection.
Yeah. So I would just like to let it fester, not fester. I would like to let it pollinate. The better word for butterflies and for hummingbirds.
Simmer.
Simmer. That's the right word. So we're letting that simmer. And we still have a 3-phase plan if we want to go back to it. But that one feels like the value, I think you might go out and look, but it seems like the value that seems to be missing a lot right now. And we're moving into, for lack of a better word, basically a new earth economy, a new earth flow. Things are kind of weird, and it's feminine and it's intuitive based. And everybody's coming out with everything intuitive based right now. Watch them go. So I think we've got a little jump start on cooperative leadership, and and based in just pure love for each other is pretty freaking awesome. So yes, beautiful.
I was just pulling up a couple documents. What I didn't share during my check-in, and I kept like being like, why didn't I share that? Is that I am apprenticing with a woman who has been practicing and teaching Tantra since 1978.
Wow.
And she is passing down her everything, just giving it to us. She's like, I think it needs to be shared. I don't have any attachment. I live in abundance. Here it is. And what I spent my day doing today, after I had somebody cancel, Hannah, after I messaged you this morning, I had somebody cancel a 3-hour time session with me this morning. And I was mad for a moment, and then reiterated my cancellation policy and said, if we're going to work together, this needs to not happen. And then I realized how much I could do in my day without having this 3-hour block with this person. So one of the things that I did was I downloaded all of the documents that this teacher has been sending. And I'm like, I was like, oh, I'm going to go and I'm going to have it printed out and I'll have it put into a little book. And there's so much that I'm like, I'm going to have to really like sit and organize this. But 2 things jumped out for me. And I don't know, I mean, I felt that they were really powerful when I saw them, and I feel like maybe they would be helpful here. But the 2 documents that I just pulled up are titled What Leaders Do and Leadership Goal Setting. And so one of the things that I was looking at that she has in the structure is watch and manage the group energy flow. So like when you were talking about that, I was like, what if we open this group up once a month and shared facilitating it to the public, and everybody who attended paid like $10, or it was a sliding scale or something, to like offer an online container to share what we've loved and experienced and been able to have, like Jessica was just saying, like the kind of growth to experience a space where you can speak freely, feel heard. And so as she's sharing that, I'm like looking at this and making sure I'm listening. And this is just like a few bullet points, but it says helping everyone feel grounded, safe, and welcome, creating connection, group and personal, making space for self-expression/discharge, education, give clear directions, calm and confident, support, fun, pleasure, aliveness. Oh, they were very excited about that one. Husband came upstairs. Time management, watching for clocks and interruption, and then bringing the event to completion. And so I just felt like, I'll review it and see if there's things that I can just like encapsulate and share with our group. But I think in addition to what Hannah was saying is like making this accessible to anybody, anywhere, like that they don't have to drive, a half an hour, several hours to be able to be in a group where all of that was just shared, like that is such a powerful foundation for anybody to feel like we can actually tap into our feminine sense of surrender.
Yes, safely,
Yeah.
be fully supported in it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So anyway.
And I would love for you to share that if you want to share it however you would like to. I love those points. I'm sorry, I was laughing about the time management coming after interruptions right after that was funny to me cosmically. I didn't mean to be a butt, but okay. And then I want to leave time for Alex, but go ahead, beautiful Susan.
I definitely want to leave time for Alex. The thing that came up pretty loudly is that the really, like, I remember when we all came together and Awa shared so vulnerably about how she's been part of these women's circles before and they fall apart, or people aren't committed, and like what's our goal and what's our outcome. And I felt the same thing. I didn't have great connections with women, and being vulnerable and stuff, and just remembering where we started and where we went, and recognizing that people coming into this who are desiring this are likely going to be at that same place where we started. And so making sure that we are sharing that, and then thinking about how we when I facilitate groups that talk about like a new way to do leadership or how to connect or be vulnerable, it's often like less us talking and more getting them together in like breakout rooms or a little to experience it. Was just
Thank you. And I'm kind of I heard storytelling said right as you said that, and experiential. Yay. Okay. So yay, one more. I think you're oh no, you're not.
The seeds, like the breakout rooms could be based on the seeds, and then the people who feel relative to that seed could go to that breakout room.
Right. Seeds. Okay. So we can invite them to the garden when we're ready, which will be soonish. And there's our ding. So we get our 15 minutes to Alex, I think. Okay, beautiful girl. All right. So I would like to, I don't know, should we spotlight you? Do you want to be spotlighted? I'm going to, she's like, I don't know what I want. I just heard. So we're spotlighting your gorgeousness. And we're going to all come into let's see what how Spirit wants to play this. I got a little guidance this week on quantum entanglement, which is in the invitation to entangle you into our quantum awesomeness. So if it's okay, we will bring you into our little entanglement. Thank you. Okay, so I would like to see Alex in the center of our, I see it as almost like an atom. There you are, yes, but maybe a circle. There we go. All right. And as we all feel each other connect in through our hearts, we're bringing Alex to the center. And we're calling in the highest and best. With awareness that we all love this person and believe in her. There we go. Okay. And if you like, Alex, set your intention. Got it. Okay. And let's begin. All sending whatever you're guided to send. Okay, bringing the last bits of the energy work to a close for yourself. And bringing your awareness back to the circle around her. Sealing this container with love. Allowing the transformation to be in the highest and best timing. There we go. And when you're ready, come on back.
Thank you.
How you doing with your pain?
A little bit better. It's like my head still hurts a lot, but I feel like my back is feeling better. That's good. Thank you, everybody.
Anybody see anything they want to share? All of them probably. Ewa.
Really sweet. When you said to circle around her, at first, what I actually saw was all of us like huddled in this huge hug. And then there was like these giant mother hands that just came up underneath her and like cupped her. And one of my teachers, through a lot of the work that I've done when I've been processing a lot of like grief and pain in my body, will say, "Oh, honey." And it's this like sweet tenderness of being held, like really genuinely being held. And And then I saw you swaying, like dancing. And so there was this invitation for you to find even just some gentle movement. So yeah, that's what I saw.
Thank you.
I started to hear this song. It's on one of my playlists. I Am Enough by Daphne Willis. Yeah, and that was playing, and I was just like affirming the message of that as it was playing, and I saw you become this great tree, and your branches extended way up out above. But then the more the enoughness came in and the healing came in, then the roots sunk even deeper and got very strong. And it allowed the upper branches and to flourish even more. And just this big, strong, just unshakable tree. It was amazing.
There was an indigenous term that I can't remember the term. I'm so sorry, but they said it means for humans, it's the verb treeing. Humans are treeing because we're like a tree.
I think I saw similar energy, but different. Like this, I mean, because to me, what that describes is this evolution from this pain state that the physical body is in, like growing up and out. But what I saw was, well, first, I wasn't quite sure how to access the quantum entanglement, and I didn't quite feel it. And I was like, wait, how do I get in? Like I felt us all around in a circle, and then I was like, wait. And so then I started channeling more like Reiki, and it was right then you were like, send whatever you want. I was like, oh, good, confirmation. And then so there were moments of being in the circle with everybody and seeing you in the center, but there was this one moment where I saw you literally like unzip this body, and then your sparkly body stepped out, and it was like like did this like dance, and then went up to like a table of healthy, bountiful, whatever nourishment feels like for you is like getting that in this like just vibrant self. So that's what I saw. It was just like a little bit of vibrant Alex, that she's there. So that was nice. And then at the end, I felt the quantum entanglement. And I was like, oh, I see. I get it. We're like just all of us together, and it's okay. I see now. And so I could feel that. And then when I started to open my eyes, it was like, whoa, 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 whoa. And I was like, is my light fixture like dimming out? What's going on? So that was fun. I felt the quantum entanglement.
Thank you. Maybe knocked off your light ones. I love how weird y'all are too. All right. Anybody else see anything they want to share?
I'll just add that I think it was really neat at one point. I had given you some of my gifts, and it's like, here's a piece of my wisdom, here's a piece of my strength, here's a piece of my resilience. And then we were all encircled and holding hands, but I was also able to just put my hands out, and then I was just holding your hands, Alex, and mine, but still holding hands and connected with you talk about quantum, right? I was doing all of the ones and zeros at the same time. So it was really lovely to feel that very, very intensely like focused connection with you, while also feeling connected to the broader circle.
And I definitely saw us all holding hands, and somehow we were all holding hands, and then they almost like this, all the hands were coming into Alex at the same time, and you were like walking with them. And then I saw a huge, best word I could call it would be almost like a drill. I'm not sure. This huge spiral of energy that was about this thick just came down, just like, and it just went all the way down, all the way into the earth, about another, I would say about 8 to 10 feet into the earth. So it felt like it just drove something all the way through and down.
Thank you all. It's like very different for me to have like I wrote a list today of things I was saying hello to and things I was saying goodbye to because I was having this like, and I think like intimacy and vulnerability are things I'm saying hello to in a different way than I have been. And yeah, and I'm like, yay. And I can feel it changing in my body. So I feel like that's good. And I feel like I could never have like dealt with this like being in the center of this space and just being kind of in a weird vulnerable moment. And I feel like I learned a lot to be able to like it's like this is uncomfortable for me, but it's like I can I like both see like the valuable like amazingness that exists here, and I also can like soothe myself through that process. So I think I just appreciate you being with me on that journey and giving to me. I'm working on receiving too. So
We all are.
yeah.
Why we love doing it so much too. It's such a gift to be able to give and to receive.
And I love how we rotate through our crises so that we can. It's like, a few of us are doing great. And then the other three of us are like, oh my God. And then it's like, and then it's like, okay. And now it's this wave. So it's, and thank goodness, it's waves like that instead of all of us at the same time.
Yeah.
So we can give and receive, and yeah.
Beautiful.
I'm reminded of it was a point, and I think it was just before this group formed. And this is all like full circle moment. It was after an experience I had in a group that was really bad and really challenging and really tough. And I came out of that and I booked a session with Aubrey with like, what's wrong with me? And oh my gosh, I feel like I'm starting over and all of this. And when she pulled up the drawing, it was the big drill.
It was.
I was the big drill. And at first I'm looking at that going like, look, it's so destructive. And this is affirming everything I feel right now about myself. And it ended up being this powerful, beautiful image. And it was, no, look how powerful you are. And I'll have to go back. I forget what the message of it was, but it was like, no, opposite of everything you've been saying to yourself. And it was just this powerful, beautiful image was that drill. And so I love that for you, because that was a very transformative one for me. That was awesome. And then this all happened.
Thank you. Do me a favor, Alex, before you go to sleep, go look at your eyes, because they look different.
Mm-hmm.
They look
really
different.
Yeah.
I do. I was just noticing that. I was like, I've been just like melting.
I had one moment when you were in the spotlight, they literally looked like Christ to me for a second. I know I'm not supposed to say that probably. So I'm sorry to anyone that I did say that to, but not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Yeah. So yeah, maybe look at him. You had the whole thing coming through. It was just incredible. You've got your light coming and your power is moving through. Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you for taking time to be present with me and all of you, and just feel like I feel a little bit lighter. I feel like I know I can tell it's moving. I just and thanks for being just inspirational and vulnerable and teaching me a lot. I think of you all and know that like you're put in my like to share different pieces, and I'm really appreciative of what I've learned from all of you.
Thank
We do love you, as Jessica said.
you.
We'll see you all in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.